part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I'm your host, Damon Royster, and today, Lord help us, we are talking about everyone's favorite sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, a.k.a. The Search for Michelle Pfeiffer. Joining me today are two amazing people. I'm humbled to call them friends in my back half of my 30s. My first guest is an actor, comedian, and possible Burbank theater owner, Ryan Asher.
Hello.
Oh,
I own movie theaters.
And that voice lets you know Ryan's been on a podcast before.
I was like, what do people who own movie theaters sound like? And what came out was hello.
Yes, very Ghost Prospector, yes.
Ghost Prospector plus a little bit Miss Doubtfire, you know?
Yeah, you know, I've been a theater owner before. Also joining me, blinded by the sun. I don't know how he's looking anywhere. This is an actress, comedian, phenomenally bad Marvel expert, Jeffrey Murdoch. Hello, Jeff Murdoch.
Hello, charmed. I know you are. It's Jeff Murdoch, the king of marbles. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, this is a Marvel podcast.
Yeah, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Exactly.
Hell yeah. I've got
So
a tiger
round.
eye that's to die for.
Also, for listeners of the podcast, Jeff is fully holding his mic like he is a correspondent out in the field.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of stuff has happened to my apartment in January, so I always look for a hole to podcast in. And right now I'm in my roommate's room.
You're back in the house?
I'm not. I'm sneaking in because they're working on the other room.
Oh,
But I don't have
Jeff's
Wi-Fi.
room has no roof.
It has a roof. It's just full of mold.
A what of mold?
It's full of mold.
Full of mold. Excellent, excellent. And you know what, listeners? I'm allowing this conversation to happen because there's not much to talk about with this movie. So I want to hear about this mold.
Honestly, I feel like if Quantum was a room, it would be my room because it's a mess.
The quantum realm is Jeff's room. Exactly. Okay.
Don't go too small.
Oh, I'm going to talk about the fucking shrinkage of this fucking plot.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go, Ryan, please.
I need to say that, like, when he is like the 1 foot tall version of himself, nothing makes me more upset. That seeing a human man fully at the size of 1 foot was one of the most disarming, confusing. Like, it was like the uncanny valley. Like, I couldn't see it. I hated it. It made me more uncomfortable than anything I've ever experienced in my life.
You didn't like when the movie became Mac and Me for about 10 minutes?
And when they tried to pretend like he looked like he was a kid at school, like the hoodie on, it was like, this is not no child is 1 foot tall, but also like the proportions of an adult man. It made me so upset to see.
Absolutely. I don't know if I enjoyed that or just enjoyed how like weird it made Ryan feel because we watched it together.
Oh, yeah.
It was painful.
Talk to me about your viewing experience. What was it like consuming this content?
Well, Jeff came over to my house, so first off, it smelled really bad the second he walked in.
Yeah, and actually, it's an apartment. Don't give yourself too much credit, Ryan.
At least I don't have mold in the ceiling, bitch. At least I'm not hiding in my roommate's room.
I'm not hiding. Anybody can come find me if they want.
Good, I'm calling the police, who I famously love.
Oh, canceled.
No, this is also being recorded.
I'm fully kidding. That was a joke. We got high, I believe.
Yeah, we did. I took a nibble of an edible.
We had to. Normally, Jeff and I, we have a history of taking mushrooms. One of our favorite pastimes is we'll take mushrooms and watch in sequence the Night at the Museum movies.
Can we just talk about Night at the Museum 2 instead?
Yeah, so
absolutely not. I refuse.
Yeah, I'd say it was equal to this movie. I'd say
maybe better. I would say that we have some small people in that. We've got the Owen Wilson and Steve Coogan, so it's basically the same.
Basically, yes. Awesome. I guess what I really wanted to know, you guys are not normally Marvel watchers. Yes.
Oh no, I am. As I said before, I'm a Marvel head.
Oh, you did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen every Marvel movie or TV show. So I've seen this before, and I would say that there was a couple moments where I had to explain to Ryan what the hell was going on, and I was a little lost at times too.
Yeah, I watch Marvel. Okay, I watch the big ones. I watch some of the shows, but Ant-Man Wasp is not one of them. So starting at the second one,
too small.
Too small for me. I like them big, Hulk vibes, Thor vibe. But so starting with the second one of this was like exhilarating, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like these movies, the Ant-Man saga and Wasp, I feel like all the other Marvel movies blend equally well into the universe, and that Ant-Man's sort of doing his own thing. It's like, hey, I'm having fun too.
Truly, like these movies feel like a break. You know, it's like we're taking a break from the main storyline to tell you this caper that's happening in San Francisco.
And I do remember, and which is kind of fun that I do kind of appreciate that the movie for that, where it's like, oh, you know what, I don't need to know all the lore about everything else going on. I can just watch this movie as is. Tiny Paul Rudd and all. I do remember when I watched this in theaters originally. This was right before the final like Marvel Avengers, I think. So it kind of almost felt like a step back, where I was like, we were ramping up to something, and then all of a sudden it's like, and now we're gonna go steal some stuff.
Yeah, because like in the timeline, we just finished watching Thanos snap everyone away, and then the follow-up is like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's so stupid. Also, for me, like, to be honest, like the whole thing being like, and the whole thing about this film is that he gets small. I couldn't care less.
Well, he also gets big at a couple moments. He gets big at a couple moments.
He also, guess what, bitch? He also gets pretty big.
He can do it both.
Okay.
Small
he can
and
also
big.
Get sort of small, but not all the way small, just a little small. And go to school.
Terrifyingly sized at 1 foot.
Okay, if we can, let's get into this, because we got to talk about...
I can't. Bye.
No. I really want to hear what you think of Ghost.
Oh my god, I forgot about that bitch. I can't wait to get to Ghost. Ghost was acting. She was not acting in the same film as everyone else, and no one told her.
I got a lot of questions about Ghost. And Damon, I know you have the answers, right?
Absolutely. That's what this notebook is for. So we start in 1987, a year before I was born.
The year I was born.
3 years after me. Michael, how about you?
98.
98.
Wow.
Somebody get Michael a bottle. He's a baby.
Yep. Gaga Goo Goo to producer Michael.
Baby Paul Rudd.
Baby. Yeah, we got Baby Paul Rudd producing this episode. So we started in the 80s. Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas, CGI'd within an inch of their life.
We got to stop de-aging people and bring in. Aren't they making a movie? This is okay. I'm on a soapbox right now.
Get up.
Oops. I smashed the soap. Aren't they like making a movie with like James Dean's like a visage or something like that?
Are we doing that?
I thought I heard that
so
they were
stupid.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, let's not bring the dead back for movies. And like, also remember The Irishman when.
Wait, go ahead.
Oh, just like with Robert De Niro's like weird, like young face but old body. He's like, yeah, I'm young still.
See, I think it's like two different things. Like bringing dead people back is like that's insane. Let's just not do that. But for some reason, the CGI, like the old people too young, is so funny to me. It's like it's not working. Yeah, we know they're old and they look insane. Yeah. Like, it's again that uncanny valley thing of like that's not a human face. So why are we even pretending? You know what I think they should lean into is like, you know, when they do like the really bad prosthetic, like old age makeup, they should try to do the opposite.
Yeah. I think they should put like backward hats on all of them and just be like, hey, what's up, babe?
Like Steve Buscemi in 30 Rock.
Yes.
Hello, local teens.
Hey, kids. Yeah.
It's not stupid. We know they're these old people, so just like you don't have to spend all that money, or just get younger actors, or just put backwards hats on them.
Yeah, I would appreciate this. I would lose my mind if that was how it started. Like, Michael Douglas, clearly an old man, still being like wearing shorts and like a beanie.
Well, if only. Actually, no, I would never want to see Michael Douglas in shorts. What a disgusting man. Not to give away where I'm going with Fuck, Marry, Kill, but I absolutely detest.
Oh yeah, you're gonna fuck him too. I can't.
And the first thing when we saw him, I was like, let's not forget that he said he got throat cancer from eating out Catherine
Catherine
Zeta-Jones.
Zeta-Jones.
Never
cannot-
forget that he said
We can
that.
never forget
And so
that
every word
criminal.
he said, I said, that mouth got throat cancer from.
But have we
eating
looked into the science of it?
Jeff, no.
that. It's too quantum.
I'm not going to be a Douglas apologist, but
It's too quantum, Jeff.
It's too quantum to deal with, Jeff.
I'm going quantum.
So we start this movie. What I do like is that, it's a sequel and it's also post, Avengers Infinity War. So there's a lot, floating around and they're just letting it out. This movie is like, all we want is Michelle Pfeiffer. That's all we fucking want. There's nothing else that matters. We don't care about Thanos. We don't care about the last yellow jacket villain of the first Ant-Man movie. We just want the Fife.
Mhm.
So we get this classic Disney Frozen, like, don't worry, sweetie, mommy will be fine. But then, oops, she's a superhero. I didn't know there were superheroes in the 80s in this universe, but I do now.
Mhm.
And again, she went too small, too fast, and she got lost.
Don't go too small,
Too small, too fast. Always lose.
Always lose.
Yeah. Is that wait? So
Thank
is
you,
that
Coach
what it is?
Taylor.
Like, did she go too small, too fast? Like, if she had gone at a more moderate speed, would she have been fine?
I guess the speed doesn't matter. I just
Okay.
wanted to evoke some Fast and the Furious.
Oh no, I love it.
Most of my listeners are Fast and Furious fans.
Hell yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But she went too small so she can get through the little cracks to deactivate a bomb, and then she got bloop, 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 lost into the quantum
The land
realm.
of goo.
The land of goo and like
Mhm.
amoebas.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
like
like,
little-
okay, so this is blob world. Like, don't need
worms.
that.
And then y'all cut to the saving grace. The only reason I come back to these movies is Paul Rudd.
Smash cut,
Oh, yeah.
Paul Rudd.
Like,
Ugh.
literally, thank God he's in this. If it were
Mhm.
any other actor, this would have been the worst movie I've ever seen.
I think I could have pulled it off.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Uncomfortable.
Cassie, little girl Cassie, which it was interesting this watch because I know that in the next Ant-Man movie, Cassie is now a teenager and she's going on the next adventure. So I was like, oh yeah, what is this daughter character who's always been there but I've never paid attention to? What's she doing? I guess she's cute. I don't know. I don't deal with kids.
I don't care about kids.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we need to. Okay, so this
Only
is like
cops,
I
no
said.
kids.
Only
no more,
cops
no
for
more
me.
CGI. No more CGI and no more kids. Okay, if we want to have a kid in a movie, you gotta just throw in Michael Douglas in like a diaper.
You're killing me.
Douglas
I agree.
diapers.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, she's fine. You know, I feel like it's. I don't know. I'm always like I see a kid in a movie and I'm like, all right, they're a kid. Kids are dumb.
They're really dumb. And
yeah.
he made a little obstacle course for her. That was cute.
Yeah.
Little, that was insane. That was massive.
Yeah.
It was
So-
massive.
I was like, that took months.
So he's under house arrest. So he's got a lot of time, and that's because he's under house arrest because he helped Captain America, right?
Yes. So in the last Captain America movie, okay, let me push up my glasses. In Captain America Civil War, they basically made it illegal to be a superhero, and then people were still superheroing. And so Ant-Man got in trouble, and he basically was like promised never to put on his suit again. And they're like, okay, you got to be under house arrest for a few months. And that's kind of where we start.
It is.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's just get through these ancillary characters. Judy
Oh, I
Greer,
love it.
Bobby Carnival, T.I.
Bobby Carnival.
Oh my god, when T.I. showed up, I literally screamed.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that was my second. Paul Rudd was the first reason to watch. Second reason, T.I.
Motherfucking
Mhm.
T.I.
Every time you see him in the back, I was like, look at him go. He's doing it. He's in a Marvel movie for no reason.
Don't even
No
ask him to
reason.
put the hat fully on his head.
The way that it's like up and sideways, but not fully sideways, incredible.
It looks like a lot of effort.
It's
And
kind of
yet-
fun.
So casual.
I mean, T.I. is great. I love that whole like security crew. All their like. I mean, we'll get to that scene later with like Eddie Pena. Just like, wait, is Eddie Pena? Is that his name?
Michael Pena. Eddie
Michael
Pena.
Pena.
I think
Eddie
that's someone that
Pena.
we know in real life.
Is an improviser, also very good.
Right.
But Michael Pena is like telling. I mean, that story he does is fantastic. I don't know if we want to jump to that now, but I think the security team and Paul Rudd make this movie. You know what? Get rid of all the quantum stuff and the Ant-Man stuff. I just want to see them run a security company. No
Yeah.
superhero shit. Just security.
Also, like, you have to know that I think Jeff kept shouting something like, oh, Eddie Pena. The whole time we watched this movie. He kept calling that guy Eddie Pena.
Oh, was it? Did I call him Eddie Pena the entire time?
Eddie Pena is an
Must have
improv
because
teacher.
You
I'm a
must,
huge Eddie
because
Pena
you
fan.
did. You're like, there goes Eddie Pena being Eddie Pena.
Yeah.
And
He
I don't
was.
know, I was like, that's Eddie.
I was actually looking out the window and I saw Eddie Pena.
Oh,
Outside of my
okay.
house.
Just
he
wandering around
was-
Ryan's house.
Yeah, he was like looking for you. He wanted to hang.
This is the kind of strategic manipulation we would get if Jeff was Ant-Man. The Michael Pena, I think that was the funniest part of Ant-Man 1, that little like drunk history lip sync thing. It was honestly great to see Evangeline Lilly do that because I don't think she's a very fun person. So it was nice to see her doing something funny. Yeah, I think she gives me coldness. And I'm
Not the Wasp.
that's the Wasp.
Yeah. She's an actress who I say this. Why? I understand that she's attractive, I guess, but she's so boring.
She is very
can we
boring.
get a little pizzazz, a little zazzle? I feel like if it was like an Aubrey Plaza or someone a little more fun, it's like, yes, they're hot, but they're so cool. Like someone to match Paul Rudd's coolness.
That'd be amazing if it was Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could pull it off though.
You want to be Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Why not? Okay.
I feel like that vibes.
That would be phenomenal. Okay, here's what I'm saying. We're gonna get together and reshoot a couple scenes from Ant-Man the Wasp where I play both roles.
We are gonna get together.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought I was inviting you to a podcast, but you're pitching me your one-woman show?
Yeah. Do you want it?
Yes. I wouldn't want to do anything else.
And Ryan will play Bobby Cannavale.
I'm a good guy.
Oh, also Jimmy Woo, Randall Park. I love this thread that Jimmy Woo and Bobby Cannavale are obsessed that Paul Rudd does magic. I thought that was really funny. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Jimmy Woo will go on to be in WandaVision. Randall Park, I'm glad your blockbuster show was. He was the FBI agent.
The FBI guy.
Who kept trying to catch him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was Randall Park.
No, that's the actor. The character.
Oh, okay. I was like, his name is. Oh, that's his name. I never even knew any of the characters' names. I think that just
they
shows.
Have names.
I don't know any of the characters' names.
I mean, here's the funny thing. I don't think I could tell you the Ant-Man's name. What is the Ant-Man's name?
Scott Lang.
I didn't remember that.
Lang.
Katie Lang's son.
Katie, yes.
Is the Wasp have a name too?
They all have names. Her name's
What's
Hope.
the Wasp named?
Hope.
Hope Lang?
Right.
Hope Van Dyne.
Oh, Van Dyne. And then I do know the Hank Pym because there's a restaurant called Pym's Laboratory at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
At
Disneyland. Ryan's not allowed back there because she pooped in the water fountain, so she can't go back.
I had to go. It was an emergency.
She said she's about to go quantum on this thing. Too small, too quick.
I feel like at the rate we're going, we'll never get to the second scene of this movie the way we're talking.
Absolutely. So I'll help us along. So, okay, that's Scott's life. He's got this new security company. Judy Greer is so proud of him. As a child of divorce, I am happy to see positive representation of
I did think that
co-parenting.
I did think that was very sweet. And like they didn't have to do that at all, but it was just a nice touch.
Yeah. I like the positivity of most people in this. And that's why I hate it every time Michael Douglas is on screen because he just sucks.
Why? You didn't like when he was like, Scott?
His whole character is like, I'm angry.
I want my wife. I haven't had sex since 1987.
Gosh.
We're led to believe.
Yeah, right. That guy's stepping out.
He's getting throat cancer from everybody around the block. Okay, so Scott's having visions of his potential girlfriend's mother, which, go to therapy, honey. That's rough.
Oh, God, another phenomenal scene
when he was in the bathtub.
No, I'm thinking about later on when he's like when he's like Michelle Pfeiffer.
I can't wait to talk about we have to get there.
We have to get there.
When he's like in his bathtub and like, I really was like, show the dick, if we're gonna get caught in the bathtub, let's go.
Yeah, Ryan was screaming that, and I thought she was talking to me. And it got weird.
If Disney hadn't bought Marvel, we would have seen that red dick.
I just don't understand, like in these moments, how you wouldn't like shoot up and then just be like, huh, weird dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moving on.
But Paul Rudd calls Hope and Hank. Just hearing that's gross. Father-daughter duo. That he's having these dreams, and they're immediately like, oh my God, the quantum realm. Michelle Pfeiffer's using Scott, because at the end of Ant-Man 1, he was in the quantum realm, blah, 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 blah. So they drug him and take him away from house arrest, and they replace the ant. They have an ant decoy.
I'm like, could we not have just like paid a Craigslist guy to sit there? Did we have to use a big ant?
Ryan, what's the name of the movie we watched?
Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, not Craigslist
there was
man.
There was no man in that ant. It was just a large ant.
I mean, I'm not saying. Yeah, that ant was. So what's the deal with those ants? Does he just have some ants that can grow big?
It's something. This is why I hate Ant-Man. He not only can he shrink to the size, but he can control ants.
Mm-hmm.
Like his helmet.
Like, we don't need that. You
There's
know
so many-
this.
I mean, this goes into the how many weird. I mean, this is one of the weirdest superheroes, but there's got to be even weirder ones where it's like I'm sludge guy and I can control sludge.
Sludge guy. Okay, they set up the premise, Hope and Hank, that they need Scott's help to get this special piece that Justified's Walter Goggins has, and it can help them get to the quantum realm. Enter Walter Goggins. Ryan, you are having a reaction.
Thank God for Walter Goggins. I say it every morning and I say it every night. He's a psycho.
Thank God.
But thank God for Walter Goggins. The
Yeah.
teeth, the energy, the voice. Like, and I think he's method. Like, I think he's a crazy
Yeah.
person. But honestly,
You think
I'll
so?
take it with him. I've like
For
heard
this-
that he's method.
Yeah, for this movie, he actually did go down to the quantum realm to prepare.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Even
he
though his
lived
character
with
did
Grant.
not go there at all.
Yeah, well, the original script it was like Walton Goggins goes small for the entire movie.
Mhm,
Well, I just
mhm.
feel like besides Paul Rudd and our guy Eddie Pena,
Yeah.
Michael Pena, and like those guys, the energy
Yeah.
of the actors in this movie is full flatline for me. So when Walter
yeah.
Goggins shows up, just like, "Hey there, sweet lady," I'm like, "Thank God,
Yeah.
you know, something's happening."
I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
some good energy. That's what's weird about this movie. There's a lot of duds and dud moments, but then there's a lot of funny, like really fun moments too.
Hmm.
And I would throw in, I think the gags, like the fighting style with the shrinking. I think this
Yep.
whole scene with like Evangeline Lilly, like, walking on the knife as it's being thrown at her. I think
Yeah.
Yes,
that's really cool.
Mhm.
all of her
Um,
chef moments in that kitchen.
Yeah, a lot of
amazing.
fun things.
But then, knock, knock, who's there?
Uh-oh.
Ghost has entered the chat.
Damn. Okay.
I wish Ghost ghosted the chat because I just don't need this at all.
Mhm.
There's nothing like the villain that is suffering from unseen chronic pain, and it's just like, I'm hurting.
And everyone's like,
Me live.
take an Advil, babe. Like, take a nap, girl. Like,
Well,
so sorry.
It'll just go through her.
Oh,
I mean, unless she took it in her little glass dome.
Oh yeah, the dome where
Yeah.
she can stabilize.
the whole
Honestly,
plot. I can't
like-
have Ghost.
Okay, so Damon, you like Marvel movies, correct?
I do.
Do you like Marvel comics, or do you
I-
know about?
I do. I don't go into Ant-Man comics, but every now and then I'll
Okay.
pick up a Marvel comic.
Because I'm like, is Ghost a character from the comics? Like, what is
Has
the
to be,
deal
right?
with this thing?
I think she is, but like, I don't think the comics ever gave her this much screen time.
It's such a weird character, and like, I almost like comes out of nowhere, and like I think it's kind of lazy. I mean, they kind of do in like the new Thor movie too, where like we're gonna show you all the backstory, and then you're gonna be, oh, I get the villain now. And it's like, I don't care. Like, let me have a real villain. Like Thanos
Yeah.
was a good villain because like you've got to follow him for a while, and you sort of understood what he was doing.
Yeah, and I had to look this up. So apparently, Ghost's whole plan is that she also wants to find Michelle Pfeiffer, but she wants to extract her quantum energy. And
Oh,
the belief is that because Janet Van Dyne, Michelle Pfeiffer, has been in the quantum realm since 1987, that if Ghost absorbs her quantum energy, not sure how we do that, but if she absorbs it, she'll like solidify.
okay, yes.
Are we still
Which-
awake?
Is that based
I
on
did fall
anything?
asleep for a second. Just thinking about Ghost's monologue that lasted 45 minutes of her being like, "My father did this, and then I did that, and every cell in my body rips apart," and it's like,
Every
shut
day.
the fuck up,
Yeah.
And there's that like
Yeah,
Lauren
to the
Fishburne is like,
bitch.
Lawrence Fishburne is like, you're causing pain, and she's like, don't talk to me about pain. I'm in
Okay.
pain.
I mean, also you have to know that Michael Bryan is my fiance who I live with, and I'm letting you know and listeners know that.
Mine too.
We love watching like bad soapy British crime shows, and there's one called The Stranger, which I do recommend because it's like very cheesy but very fun. Like crazy things keep happening, and you're just like, who made this? And the whole premise is that a stranger came to town and it would sort of be like, I'm like blackmails people, like, I know that you are having an affair and I'll tell everyone. So like all these people in the town, their lives are getting ruined by the stranger, and it's her. The actress that plays Ghost is the stranger. And then the
Wow.
big twist at the end, which is horrible, is that they're like, oh, yes, we never knew who it was because she's trans and used to be a boy that lived in town. So down. And it's like, that's so not okay. And that can't be a twist. That's not a twist. But so the whole time I'm just like seeing her give the same kind of acting performance as she did on this like bad soapy show. I was like, I couldn't handle it.
My God.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me explain The Stranger for 45 minutes.
Has she done anything else? I haven't looked her up because my mind was broken after this.
Well, if you can believe it, she's going to be back in another Marvel movie as Ghost.
Okay, so that was one of my questions I had for you. Because I'm like, we don't really know what the deal with Ghost is at the end of this. Is she still have like superpowers? Is she gonna?
I assume she will. So they're doing like Marvel's doing their own like Suicide Squad kind of movie. So like, tertiary villains that didn't die will all come back in the Thunderbolts, put together by Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, is she gonna be one of the Thunderbolts?
No, she's gonna be like Viola Davis.
She's gonna be Viola Davis?
Essentially, yeah.
Wait, I haven't seen the Suicide Squad. Is she in that?
Jeff, I can't talk about Suicide Squad on this podcast. This is a Marvel podcast.
Legally.
Okay, but legally, I cannot.
What's Viola Davis?
She's like in charge of them.
Yeah, Viola Davis works for the government, and she's like, I'm gonna go put together all these terrible villains to send them on suicide missions because no one will care if they don't come back because they're bad people with superpowers.
And this is like the Suicide Squad?
That's the Suicide Squad. And so Marvel's doing their own.
Cool.
And he did get me. But you know what? I'm gonna get you right back because everybody, it's time to take a break. We're gonna take a hot little break. Enjoy these ads for other podcasts you can listen to on Press Play Productions, Press Play Podcasts. I'll learn the name eventually. We'll be right back to talk about Lawrence Fishburne and any more plot details we can find about Ant-Man and the Wasp. So keep it right here. Podcast 616 will be right back.
Don't go too small, too quick.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us and then listen in.
Welcome everyone to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host Damon Royster, and I am inviting you to listen and subscribe to this Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. On Podcast 616, we gather some of today's greatest comedians, writers, and actors to dive deep into all things Marvel, like comic book history and lore, all the interconnected superhero storylines, and of course, who's hot and who's not in the MCU. Honestly, why aren't you listening right now? You have the power to listen to Podcast 616. And as we always say, with great power comes even greater responsibility. Listen and subscribe to Podcast 616 wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, my name is Sam Post, owner of Phenomenal CBD Store and PhenomenalCBD.com. That's like phenomenal, CBD.com. Tune in where we talk with experts about how the amazing hemp plant can make a difference for people's health and well-being from the Press Play Podcast Network.
And we're back. Welcome back. Lawrence Fishburne, Jeff Murdoch. How did you feel about Lawrence Fishburne? I believe he was playing the original Giant Man.
Oh, wait, what? Is that like that's another superhero? So there's an Ant-Man and the Giant Man, and then Scott Lang can do both?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I think I missed that. I was zoning out.
Well, they have that conversation. Okay, so he was I think his superhero was called Goliath.
They were talking about going big, right?
Yeah, and Evangeline Lilly, again, trying to give her some jokes to do, trying to make her more fun this time.
Yeah.
She comments like, "Can you stop talking about your sizes?"
Oh yes, and we laughed and laughed.
Yeah, we laughed. We had to pause it. A moment I did laugh at in the scene was at the end when they look out the window and they see the FBI and someone just points her right at the window.
No.
And they sort of walk run.
Yeah.
I like Lawrence Fishburne and things. He feels a little. I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes I don't get energy from him, but he was kind of. I mean, the whole Ghost and Lawrence Fishburne side story, which I guess was the main story. I don't know, was kind of like a dud to me.
I love Lawrence Fishburne. I'm always like, there he is. Anytime he pops in anything, I'm like, that's Lawrence Fishburne. It might be, maybe it's the name, but I think he also has some like gravitas. But I can't blame him for being boring because I think they just gave him nothing to work with. And then they're like, and on top of that, work with this woman.
Right.
The stranger.
The stranger's going to come ruin your life. And she did. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's his fault that he was so boring in this.
Yeah. It's truly like two half-written characters, and they try to put them together to make one.
It really felt like they had two half-written characters that was combined with a half-written story of like, we got to get her from the quantum realm. Like, they really just got her from the quantum realm so they could introduce quantum stuff for this new quantum movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it really feels like every choice was made in this movie because it was like, it's a hallway to help set up things in the next movie. But we're gonna have some funny stuff, but that's just, you know, to keep you from not leaving.
It is a hallway movie for sure. And like, I understand that there's like comic book lore and stuff like that, but when she started being like, my dad was a scientist and my dad did this and blah 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 blah, and then it was like, and by the way, Lawrence Fishburne is not my dad, he's just a guy who takes care of me now. And it just was like, couldn't we have like changed it to make them have higher stakes of like,
why not have them
he actually is her dad and it was her mom that died or something? Like, it just felt like it's like, why does he care about her? He's like, and I'm here too.
Yeah,
it felt
it's
so
like,
useless.
I'm a friend of the family. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Not even my niece.
Yeah, you know, I got a key under my doorstop. Please come on by, kiddo. And that's just like, there's no connection.
Yeah,
no connection. He's really just there to give us exposition and to explain what her whole deal is.
Which is like, I'd rather watch.
What would you rather watch?
Run on a knife. I'd rather watch
the little gal
T.I. doing a monologue. Like, I'd rather have a whole scene where T.I. has like an emotional monologue where he's like, guys, by the way, I haven't been feeling like myself lately. Anything.
Yeah, anything for T.I.
Yeah. He could have a rap number in the middle of the movie.
That would be fun.
I'd rather watch that.
They're not brave enough to do that. They're not brave enough to give the people what they want.
I said that to them after they rejected his ideas.
Yeah. Well, let's just go to, so we find out Ghost and Lawrence Fishburne are teamed up. They kidnap our unfortunate trio of Scott, Hope, and Michael Douglas.
Here's the thing real quick. Please. For a lot of the movie, Ghost is trying to get a hold of the lab, which they shrink down to a suitcase size. And they're just like pulling it around like a rolly suitcase. Why not just leave it there? If like the whole thing is like, everyone's like, we got to get a hold of that lab. It's like, just leave it there, fill it up with
size.
Yeah, fill it up with ants or whatever, and just have them defend it. Like, I don't know the decisions.
At the end, they make this realization that you can't, if you even have the tiny one, if you don't have the remote to make it big again, it's useless. So I'm like, just give them the lab and just keep the remote.
Yeah. Also, like, we were talking about this, I think. The building, when they would make it be really big all of a sudden, that's horrifying. And I feel like people were just like still out and about doing their day. It's like buildings are appearing.
There's a scene where like a giant man appears in the bay. There's gunshots everywhere, and you just like cut to a scene, and people are just walking about shopping. And
going to lunch.
I think if I was in San Francisco and this was happening, I'd head home for the day. I'm calling it a short day. I'll work from home on Zoom.
Oh yeah, I think because this movie is so fun, they kind of gloss over how many casualties there were.
So many deaths.
There are a lot of
people must have died if that building just appeared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's no plumbing. There's no plumbing in that building, right? Because it's not connected to anything.
There couldn't be.
So that thing's just full of poop. And every time they shrink it, what if the poop didn't? Okay, so this is Jeff's corner. Here's my pitch for the next one.
Please.
The building shrinks, and everything shrinks except for the poop. So the poop just gushes out the side.
I just don't think there are any bathrooms in there.
Well, what do? They're working. They're pulling an all-nighter. They're like, oh, fuck, I got to go run down the street to Denny's and use their toilet.
Yeah, they shrink the building, they roll it to the Denny's, and then they poop in the Denny's, and then they roll it back and make it big again.
This is my next pitch for the movie, where it's like the next Ant-Man world is like, oh, shit, can I use your bathroom? Like, you got to order something. And it's like, oh, crap, fine, give me moons over my hammy, and like, all right, sit down. Like, no, I gotta use the bathroom.
This bitch knows the names.
Yeah,
I was like, he really is out here pulling out moons over my hammy right now.
Oh, you don't know about moons over my hammy?
No, we don't.
Moving
Jeffrey.
on.
Moving on. So I just want to get to the scene. So they get the building back, and then I think Ryan, you wanted to talk about the scene where Michelle Pfeiffer possesses Paul Rudd.
Oh, were we going all the way there? Is that how long Jeff and I have talked?
We're there, honey. We're here.
I'm honestly, I want to talk about it, but I'm also speechless. The way when Paul Rudd would turn to her, look her in her eye, and say "jelly bean." The way that Paul Rudd had to, as Paul Rudd said, today I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to pretend to be Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm going to look into my co-worker's eyes, pretending to be Michelle Pfeiffer as if I mean it. I can't even. It's like the cringiest thing to think. It makes me so uncomfortable, almost as uncomfortable as the 1 foot man.
It's a masterclass in acting, I think.
And it lasts for so long. He pretends to be Michelle Pfeiffer for what felt like an hour, and I was like, "This is insane! Who wrote this?"
It is
a lot of white men wrote it. It's credited as like 5 writers, including Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd wrote this?
You think he wrote just that scene? He said, "Let me play Michelle."
I don't know, but Paul Rudd does get a writing credit for this movie, and
good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like unbelievably cringe. Am I insane?
No, you are not insane. So I come from the sketch comedy background, where you are.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, or if you are familiar.
You mean skit comedy?
No,
skit comedy.
I was going to say this right now. I don't want to put my date on blast, but I was on a first date last night, and he did keep saying the word skit, but it was going so well that I was like, I'm going to let this slide.
Anyway.
I would not discuss that on air, but.
Oh, Damon is nodding his head.
Jeff.
Shaking his head.
Anyway, so coming from sketch comedy, in our training, I respect when people can like jump from different characters and like play things that aren't their type. So that's where my mind went, but I do understand that it was very uncomfortable. And also, if this was really happening, this is my potential partner that's also possessed by my mother. We got to go to therapy.
I think that's like the big other part is that like they kind of like have like sexual tension in history, I guess. And then also he's like looking into her eyes being like, "I'm your mother now." He did a good job, but it was just like, this shouldn't be written.
No.
This shouldn't have been done to us as viewers.
And I think, I don't know if we talked about, so the fact that he was in the quantum realm, now he's possessed by everything in the quantum realm.
Yes, what is that?
Yeah, so he shrunk down. He got too small. He got too small in the first one, and he heard her, and she somehow. I think they're lightly suggesting that Janet Van Dyne, Michelle Pfeiffer, has become a mutant, because I think we're slowly trying to introduce the X-Men here. So she can like psychically link with, at the end there's that Deus Ex Machina where she just kind of like tap, basically I wish she slapped Ghost across the face, like, stop it, snap out of it. So she's got some kind of like psychic powers. So she's like latched on to Scott, since he's like the only person who's like been to the quantum realm and then escaped. So he's linked.
Yeah, she's clearly like, she's been there for what, 30 years?
Yeah.
What's she been doing?
And we're just gonna bring her back and be like, "She's back, let's go get dinner." It's like, no, bitch needs therapy. Bitch needs like an inpatient.
Yeah.
But I think if we want to jump to that, like that, I'm going to geek out because I am excited for this next Ant-Man movie, because we're going to meet Jonathan Majors, his character Kang, who is in the quantum realm, and Michelle Pfeiffer, based on the trailer, like knows him. Like she had a whole thing, and Kang is going to be the next Thanos villain for the Avengers.
Did they had a thing going on down there?
I don't know. She's just very bothered by him, and I'm just like, what is the tea?
Now,
I kind of like to go with the question. Go off with the question.
So we saw. I feel like my limited knowledge. We saw a Kang in WandaVision, correct? Wait, was that WandaVision or Loki?
Loki.
Yes.
We saw, correct.
But that's a different Kang, because that one died, I believe. Sorry, spoiler.
He did die. He did die there. Yeah. So that what they call variant. That was a Kang from a different multiverse dimension. But the one
Kang is different.
Yeah, this is the bad one. This is the one we should be afraid of.
All right. Okay. So yeah, that's fun. We're gonna meet a big bad that's even scarier than Ghost. I'm nervous.
Oh my God, Ghost.
Can you imagine?
Let her out of her misery. Just let her disappear.
It would be pretty funny.
She clearly wants to.
I'm gonna be the villain, and then Kang just shows up and destroys Ghost. Like, oh damn, all right,
He's just, boop.
yeah.
So okay, we have this like, I do like finales that have also. Well, hold on. First of all, I think it's a complete. This whole movie, there's no drama, there's no stakes, and I think that's what we're feeling. Like, you know, kind of like the Dark Night of the Soul moment, or the moment where like all is lost, is where like Scott is like, oh no, the FBI is coming to my house, I have to go, and there's like this tension of like, oh, fine, you don't care about us. It's like he has to. He already violated his parole.
He's done
You made
so
him do
much
it.
for you. Yeah.
You took him without his consent.
Yeah.
Yes. You like and poisoned him or drugged him.
Drugged him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he's got to go to, you know, keep up the lie that he's otherwise he's going to go to jail. And like Hope and Hank are like, we can't trust you. I'm like, fuck off, Michael Douglas.
This is
no
why
Michael Douglas.
I don't
Nobody
trust
wants to
science.
see him. It could have just been Hope being like, I want to get my mom. We don't need Michael Douglas at all. Because also, like, my thing is, like, you introduced Walter Goggins to me. I'm so excited about that. And then Ghost, like, took away all of the energy from Walter Goggins. I feel like, or Walton. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Not Walter. Walton.
Walter Goggles.
How dare I? Walton Goggles. It's just like, I feel like sometimes in these movies there's like so many things going on that it's like if we had just like picked one or two and like really made them good, then it would have been incredible. Instead, they're like, also this, also that, also there's a daughter. Don't forget there's a daughter.
Don't forget there's a daughter.
Don't care about the daughter.
Yeah.
Which
so much of the movie was like, hey, I gotta get home before the FBI shows up. Also, we gotta go find our suitcase factory or lab
Suitcase factory.
Yeah, it's just
I
like
did
they
love the
kept
suitcase
running.
factory plot line.
That
Because
absolutely
they're-
incredible.
no one knows where suitcases come from. And so all
Yeah.
those things where they just showed us how they're made in that factory, I love.
Sonoma.
Samsonite, Jansport. So I think I'm sure they make suitcases. So Scott goes back. The daughter covers for him. Jimmy Woo foiled again, and then we go into this crazy third act, which is so fucking layered. Well, also shout out to Cassie. She gives Scott the inspiration, like, you need a partner. I met me, which will be cute because I think she will be the partner in the third movie. Great. Kids are great. So our third act, we have like Michael Douglas in the quantum realm. This, I think, very fun car chase where we're just blowing up Pez dispensers.
Yeah. I'm like, do more of that. Like, this is the movie where it's like, we just want to see that. We don't care about Ghost. We don't care about these other plot lines. It just makes
we don't care about you,
small
Ghost.
things big and big things small.
I want
Do
Ant-Man
that
to be
for an hour.
fun and goofy, okay? I don't want it to be like, oh, mom's trapped in a tiny dimension, and also this lady's been ripped apart genetically. I want to see a giant Pez dispenser.
I want to see that Pez.
I want to see that Pez.
And then we get Scott going giant to get the suitcase back, and then he scares everybody. He gets tired. It takes so much energy, and then he falls asleep, and then Wasp dives in to save him. Yada yada yada. She does. They trick Jimmy Woo again. I dare say Jimmy Woo bad at his job.
I'm unfortunately we gotta fire that guy.
Set around some surveillance.
Have a camera in there.
Have
Jimmy. One camera for 1 second. You see, walk by that house, you'll see a giant ant inside.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough to be like, I'm going in.
He shouldn't be around giant ants.
Yeah, like
he's got a history.
I'm going in.
This is clearly in violation of the agreement. No giant ants allowed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we get Janet out of the quantum realm. She comes out. She gives a little tap, tap, tap to Ghost's temple, and fixes everything.
Yeah, and so it's like, I'm so sorry, Janet, for the rest of your life, you're going to be in hospitals.
Yeah.
When we're actually going to use that to heal people then.
Yeah. When that happened, it sort of took, I mean, not that I loved the Ghost storyline, but it took the air out of everything where it's like, oh, okay, cool. I guess this is a conclusion.
Yeah. If Ghost had just chilled the fuck out and they had just done this in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I
think it's a good lesson that we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. Sometimes, which honestly, I think is what the 5 white guys wanted us to take from the movie.
Exactly what the 5 white guys wanted.
Ask for help if you need it. Okay. I believe that we can't get through this world on our own.
Are you giving me Jerry Springer final thoughts right now?
Yes, he really is, Jerry. Also, I'm like, if she's healed, does that mean that she's regular now? So now she can just like go work at a fashion magazine if she wants? You know,
Her
is she
whole
just
life.
like a gal in the city now?
She is who
yeah.
replaces Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So yeah,
Wait,
in the Marvel
Devil's
universe,
1 second. I gotta write this down. The devil wears what?
Prada,
Prada.
babe.
Prada babe. So that would have been a fun ending to the movie. But on this podcast, we always have a fun ending, and we end every podcast with a fun game of fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh.
As I'm sure you've all heard from listening to our Ant-Man 1 podcast, we already did those main characters, but now it's time to think a little bit outside the box. So on the docket for this fuck, marry, kill is Janet Van Dyne, Michelle Pfeiffer, Lawrence Fishburne, Giant Man, and Michael Douglas, his Hank Pym. We'll fuck, marry, and kill one of those, and I will go first to give my guests time to think. Right off the bat, I'm killing Hank Pym. Killing Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas fucking sucks. And also Hank Pym sucks. I do believe there is a comic arc from way back when where he was physically abusive to Janet Van Dyne.
Oh.
And also in the comics, it was Hank Pym who created Ultron. Hank Pym always fucks up. Never did a good thing in his life. Hate him. Hate Michael Douglas. He's fucking dead. I'm going to shrink him down to size, stomp on him like a goddamn ant that he is.
Oh.
My fuck will be Lawrence Fishburne. I like a big boy. What can I say?
Lawrence, if you're listening.
Lawrence,
Hello.
I know you probably wouldn't want to do it, but I remember The Matrix. And then I will marry Michelle Pfeiffer because I need some healing, you know? Sometimes I get ghosty.
Ghost.
So those are my picks. I'm going to go to Ryan Asher. Who are your picks today?
Okay, I'm gonna fuck the big ant. No, I'm just kidding.
Anton.
And I'm going to marry the suitcase factory. I am going to obviously say it with me, kill Michael Douglas, kill him. He's dead. How would I kill him? I think I would make him 1 foot and make him live around for a day as 1 foot, and then I would just shoot him.
Damn.
I don't know why I got so violent.
I'm gonna shrink him down to the size of a weirdly small child and then
for a
shoot
day.
him.
Hate him and then... Anyways, moving on. I don't want listeners to turn on me. At first, I was thinking I fuck Michelle Pfeiffer because that would just feel like such a cool thing to say that I did. But then I was like, yeah, I would rather be married to her and have sort of like soft Michelle Pfeiffer energy around my whole life. So I'm going to be getting on top of big boy Lawrence Fishburne just like Damon did.
Yeah.
Same answer. Jeff, don't fuck this up.
All right, I'm gonna.
But you have to tell us how you're going to kill who you're going to kill.
All right, so here's the
Please.
thing. Everyone knows I am the biggest Michael Douglas fan in the world. Okay.
I forgot that. I did forget that.
Yeah, I got all of Michael Douglas's movies tattooed on my back. And yes, I can name them all, but I'm not going to because I can't think of one right now. It pains me to say, but I'm going to kill Michael Douglas as well because he sucks and Hank Pym sucks too. He is the crankiest person in the entire Marvel universe. Every time he talks, like, no, I don't. Just such a little grumplepuss, and I don't like it. A grumplepuss. I said it, and it's
Say that.
It's just like in this movie where Scott Lang. Also, who's being mean to Paul Rudd? Everyone loves Paul Rudd. This guy's like, what are you gonna do? Fight with my daughter?
How will you kill him, Jeff? Say it.
Here's what I'm
Speaking
gonna
of
do.
Douglas,
I'm gonna say, oh my God, hey Hank, I left your the thing you love, your that hoagie that you ordered. It's in the lab. He's like, oh, I gotta go get my hoagie myself now. Fuck yeah! So he runs in there, and then I'm like, pull out the clicker. I'm like, oops, and I shrink it while he's in there, and then I take it and I step. I mean, if that doesn't smush him, probably doesn't. But then I smush it with my foot, and he gone.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah.
And then the other answers?
The other answers are, I'm going to be a little different here. I'm going to fuck Michelle Pfeiffer. I think that I want to see what her dangerous mind has in store for the bedroom.
Are her movies
I
tattooed on
really
the front of your body?
Oh, yeah. Michael Douglas on the back, Michelle Pfeiffer on the front. And then we're going down south on my ankles. I've got every Lawrence Fishburne movie because I think that Lawrence Fishburne would be a fun hang. And we would just be one of his movies.
One Lawrence Fishburne movie.
Matrix 2.
Reloaded.
Reloaded. I couldn't even think of the name. I think it'd be fun to hang out Thornton's Fishburne forever until death do us part.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
romantic.
All right. Okay. That's the movie. Also, to the nerds out there, yes, there was a post-credit scene where Scott gets trapped in the quantum realm as everyone gets snapped away by Thanos. That gets resolved in Endgame. Kind of fun.
That was the only part I really was like, oh, because I saw the Avengers that start with that. And I remember being like, no idea what's happening here.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. Couldn't care.
Couldn't be me.
But that was where I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
They got fucking snapped, dude.
Wait a minute. These movies is connected?
A weird thing is like, I'm curious about Quantum. Like, does the time move differently there? Because I think Michelle Pfeiffer should be a little battier at the end of this. Like, if
literally
it's
unwell or like dead.
Yeah, like
that's why I
deal with this.
I mean, this episode is dropping just before QUANTUMANIA comes out. So I am putting some predictions. I'm hoping that we get a little bit more information because it was just so easy to find her in the quantum realm. Like she's just there. Yeah. And I wonder if like Kang was like, oh, I'm going to orchestrate this because this is part of my plan or something. Yeah. So I wonder if we'll revisit this. And if they don't do that, then this movie fucking sucks.
And that is quite possible.
Yeah.
One last thing, it's Watch the Stranger.
Ooh. Wow. You really came around on that.
Well, I was saying this. It was fun the whole time. It was the very end where you're like, that can't be what they wrote.
Right.
That simply can't be. But if you feel the way about Ghost that I feel, you should watch The Stranger.
I'll check it out.
All right. Okay, y'all. Let's go to the socials. Jeff Murdoch, where can people follow you on the internet?
You can find me anywhere where you search J Murdoink, JMURDOINK, or you can listen to a podcast I'm on called Mystery County Monster Hunters Club, where we hunt monsters like Hank Pym. Am I right?
I would hope so.
You can also find Jeff if you just like look up like local sex offenders.
Or also international perverts.
Yeah, don't limit him, Ryan.
Sorry.
I can be as bad as I want to be.
And you can find me, the Pseudo Angel, on social media at Reen Machine, REEN_machine, and that's the only place you can find me.
Or if you look at the bottom of a suitcase.
I'm usually under suitcases.
She's in every suitcase. Excellent. Follow these people. They're so amazing. You can follow this podcast 616 on Instagram. We have a new Instagram. It should be being used by now, but who knows when we're recording this. You can follow it at podcast 616P3. That P3 stands for Press Play Podcasts. They are the organization that are allowing us to be heard through your ears. Thank you so much, Press Play. You can also follow me at Damon Royster on Instagram. Producer Michael, if you want to hop on the mic real quick, what letter grade would you give this podcast episode?
This is one of my favorite ones. I'll give you guys an A++.
Yeah! Ooh, A stands for Ant-Man.
Talk about the movie.
I mean, I think we did our best. Okay, I think we
did
put
our very
as much time. We put as much effort into talking about the movie as the writers did. So I think
absolutely.
I would absolutely agree. Dare I say this was the writers' room for Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah,
I bet it was just
by
like
the way,
this.
Did we not say that? We are those 5 white guys.
Yeah. It's like, so sorry.
You not tell?
That's our twist ending there.
They should hire us. They should hire us to punch up every script. I would throw in so many funny things.
Oh man, I think about jokes all the time for Ant-Man. He's so small and then big.
Stuck in a bottle of ketchup.
What is he? What is he, a chia pet?
Oh, that'd be fun. I'd like to see
that'd
that small.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the producer Michael, Ryan, Jeff, thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week to talk about QUANTUMANIA, if you can believe.
I can.
And I've been your host, Damon Royster. And oh man, until next time, don't forget that with great power comes even greater responsibility.